One more time.
Hi, everybody. You just missed me fumbling and forgetting that I'm suddenly on camera and I have to talk to you all.
I did this on purpose.
Yes,
You could get that out of the way before.
That was all taken care of, and now we're on track. Welcome back to Burning Bright, our Bladerunner RPG actual play, here on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. This is episode 7. If you're interested in watching older episodes to catch up, or you're confused about who we all are and what the heck we're doing here, you can find that at happyjacks.org/burningbright. Yeah. This game is an M-rated experience. If you're not into hearing some gory details about crimes that are committed in the future of Los Angeles, maybe not the right choice for you. You can find other games that we've done of all the various ratings at happyjacks.org/shows, and you can find something that fits more to your taste there. I recommend you do that because there's some awesome ones out there. Additionally, because this being an M-rated show, we have done some work with safety tools. We created a document before we started with lines and veils, where we talked about things that none of us wanted to have on the table, and so they're not. They're just not going to happen. And it's easy to work around that because we're all here to have a good time. We also have a cool digital X card button on all our tables. So if anything comes up in gameplay that is unexpected and suddenly rubs somebody the wrong way, we can hit the button and that's just going to go away. Not part of what we're doing here. I encourage everybody out there to use a safety tool, various safety tools, many safety tools, because playing RPGs is about having a good time and telling a fun story with people that you want to hang out with. If you're there to make people have a bad time, go find another hobby to ruin, because I like this one. All right? By the way, I'm CADave. I'm running this sort of adventure by providing things that happen in front of these awesome players around me. Let's go around and find out who you all are.
Hello, I'm Sam. I use she, her pronouns, and I play Kestrel, also she, her, who is a rookie LAPD enforcer and a very grumpy replicant.
I think she's nice. I play a grumpy replicant. Hi, everybody. I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I'm here to play Haru, who is never a problem, who is a replicant because the system won't let me be. I am only a rookie. And we're doing good. Everything's great.
Everything's fine.
There's nothing to worry about. And at least I have both halves of my body attached.
My name is Cousteau, he, him, and I play Fjor Rotari, a veteran Cityspeaker of LAPD. And yeah, he has lots of secrets, no more or less than anyone else on his team. He's learning to hide them, like everybody else.
Oh, buddy. Hey, everybody. I'm Joey, he, him pronouns, and I am playing Gavin Huxley, the absolutely totally normal human Bladerunner. Just ask him, he'll tell you. He's definitely not repressing the fact that he found out he's a replicant. He's totally dealt with that. He's great. He's great. Why do you not think he's great?
He's the only okay person in the village now.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And now all of you that have been watching the show have experienced the delight I had when the two people that were like, let's leave it up to chance, ended up both being replicants, so that the whole party was replicants. Delightful. So let's move on and talk a little bit about what happened last time. It's been 2 weeks. We missed last week due to a conflict with the Halloween, which turned out to be very busy, but less busy than normal for me. So that was kind of nice. I got to close up shop at 9 o'clock and didn't have people knocking on the door until 11:30. So that's great. It was good. What do you know? Having a holiday where kids are walking around, be on a midweek school week, cuts down on the number of kids walking around. How great. So, last time we wrapped up the final bit of the investigation and dealt with Leah.
We sure did.
We
Some of
picked
us
up.
were-
Well,
Personally
yeah,
than
Kestrel
others.
dealt with Leah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you all emotionally dealt with it. One way or another.
Might be in and out.
You put it in your I should deal with this queue. How about that?
I put it, it's a round file that lives next to my desk on the floor. That's where that went.
And eventually it's gonna overflow. And that's great. I can't wait. So the session started out with you guys entering the room with Leah. Fjor had kind of talked her down from direct violence. But the more you talked with her, the more she just appeared to be literally broken, right? She was not a functional.
She would not answer any of my
Anymore.
questions.
Your very normal question.
Yeah.
My very normal questions.
After banging on the window. In the most subtle way to enter a room.
Subtlety is not Gavin's specialty.
Then you all ended up coalescing into the apartment, at which point Kestrel decided that it was time for Leah to go and retired her. So with that, it sort of ended that dilemma. The other replicants that you had sort of talked with and let off the hook managed to escape on the moon bus that picked them up and took them off-world from the Hollywood sign. So they escaped intact and fine. You guys narrowly dodged the wrath of both your superior officer and the Wallace Corporation because you had previously framed Kill Magazine writer for the original murder that started this whole investigation. Wallace, upon realizing that that wasn't necessarily true, they were still fine with the fact that you managed to eliminate somebody that worked against their interests. And then you ended up solving the second crime and dealing with it. So you ended up pretty ahead of the game, professionally speaking.
Hey, Wallace gave us a very narrow window, and we just took it.
Yep. So you dodged a lot of things that could have happened, that were about to happen. But that's interesting. You then took some downtime and got some upgrades, took some new things. That's great. So let's talk a little bit about our questions for promotion humanity points before we get into the new crime that you were introduced to after that. In that last episode, you'd already completed the combat and were moving into the room.
No,
Negative.
we
have
just started the combat.
Get help went bad,
That's,
and that's
right.
where it
very
started.
Good, very good.
and
yes.
that's where we started.
See, that's why.
I don't know what you mean.
needed all
Get
your
help happened exactly the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
on the outside.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
So,
I still need help.
I'd say you could get a promotion point for successfully distracting these people outside.
Okay, I will take it.
I would give a humanity point to Fjor for getting those people outside to try and delay everybody in the situation. It didn't work out that way, but it's still worth the humanity point. You both can get a promotion point because you both dealt with people on the street
Yeah.
Excellent.
to gain access. And then you managed to scare off the last guy on the roof.
Yes.
But that's not another point. We'll just say dealing with
I
that
let my guy
situation.
go. He didn't
Yeah.
die. Did deal with him in a fairly permanent way for him.
Yeah. Until you find somebody to repair
Fix it,
himself.
yeah.
You did apprehend and retire, so everybody gets a promotion point. The main suspect. don't think none of you uploaded anything or reported anything about the other's behavior, correct?
I think we reported about Fjord's nonsense.
Yeah, about the oops the roof.
Oops, the roof, the surprise guests waiting for us.
And Fjor had called in dispatch, though, so to say I was offering aerial support and told you there were men on the ground, and they asked if backup was needed, and I said, no, it's on the scene.
Gotcha.
So we'll let the LAPD sort that out.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of worked out to be a little bit of a wash,
Yeah.
story-wise.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you could all get a promotion point for involving the mechanics of the LAPD. A humanity point for your big discovery.
Oh, yes.
Forgive me, my memory's a little blurry about how much was revealed about the true nature. I know you haven't told a soul,
Mm-hmm.
but you kind of put out some talk about stuff, but you didn't let it all out of the bag.
Not to Haru. Haru still
Right.
thinks Fjord is a normal boy.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
Kestrel's still under the impression that Fjord is human.
But you kind of approached Leah with a humanity angle.
Yes.
Like that was your connection that calmed her down. So you can have a humanity point.
I will say you did let her know something was going on there.
Right.
So it's like, I understand you and I have a friend that I'd like you to talk to that definitely understands you.
Thank you. See, there it is.
I'm with you.
Fair.
I'm a real boy now.
That's how it
Let's
works.
get one humanity point. Okay.
Beyond that, is there anything else in that lead up to when we changed to the new mystery that
We saved Mr. Lilith. That's the only other thing I have.
you
We
did?
did save Mr. Lilith, yeah.
Everybody can get a promotion point for that. You managed to stop him from being killed or kidnapped off planet against his will. Great.
Do we get points for interacting with our key relationship, or does that just reduce loss resolve?
You could, in this case,
The only reason I'm thinking it is because Kestrel took the dog tags from that guy she accidentally
you
murdered
did, and you gave him, yes.
and tried to
Yes, you can
track
have a
down
humanity point for that.
who the to
yes.
tell the to send
Yes.
those to. Yeah.
I forgot about the dog tag part. Yeah. I was going to say, like, the interaction with your brother thing, I don't know if that was enough, but I forgot entirely about dog tags. Perfect. As we progressed into your new murder scene, I don't think anybody did really anything plus minus in any way there. You guys kind of just got there and got the information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's a lot
'cause
of
that was right
asking
at the end of
questions.
the episode.
Yeah.
So I think we're good on the points front.
Sweet.
A little bit of refresher for the beginning of the new mystery. They were all summoned to go to an emergency at a very high level of a big UN tower in town, as the UN is still the world government that does have power. A lot of times that's subverted by the power of corporations and their money, but technically the UN still has power to make the corporations do things. And in this case, they were summoned because UN judge had been killed in her apartment, her palatial apartment, by being bisected and cauterized. So there really wasn't a lot of blood or anything. It was just two halves of a person, one left in a bathtub, the other half propped up against a mirror, to kind of make an illusion of it being a whole person. When you walked in to the bathroom and discovered this. And we kind of left it there. You guys are still on scene, so if there's anything else you're curious about, or
I don't know if it'd be a roll, but does it look like, I mean, her propped up against the mirror seems very intentional. Is there any way to measure that? Like, I'm trying to think how to ask the question. Like, is there any way based on professional, like, know-how, like, this was clearly put this way for a reason, not just happenstance?
I don't know if you've encountered somebody that has killed someone in a way and then done a purposeful posing of a body. I'd let you, like, I don't think you're going to get the motivation behind why
Right.
from this scene, but you can certainly kind of document it.
Yeah. I basically wanted, like, I don't even know if they're what the message might be. I'm just trying to determine, is there a message there?
I think the biggest message is that it makes it look like a whole person
Right.
still. Like, that's very intentional.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know.
And the way it's leaned up against the wall, it looks like there's still a person in the bathroom,
Okay.
even though they are gone. Beyond that, yeah, I don't know if you'd be able to apply any kind of police skills to figure out a motivation at this point.
Sure.
Maybe if more bodies rack up.
Kind of next to that, though, was she taking a bath?
No.
Okay.
She's still dressed.
All right.
Oh, I thought she was naked.
Yeah, I thought she was naked.
She was?
Yeah.
Did I
Yeah.
say naked? Well,
Yeah.
Then she's naked.
She's
My
naked.
bad. Next to the bathtub is a pile of clothing.
Okay.
We'll say that. My bad.
And there was no blood.
I mean, there's a tiny bit in the bathtub, but it seems like most of it's probably still in the halves
Mm-hmm.
Right.
because of the
Carterization.
something high heat did, like a lightsaber. When, you don't see gouts of blood
Mm-hmm.
falling off stormtroopers in Star Wars for the exact same reason.
Are there any other marks on the body, like signs of a struggle?
Well, for that, let's do an intelligence observation.
Not my best forte, but we'll give it a try.
You never know.
No, that's a no.
Okay.
I'm not gonna push on
You
that
don't
one.
you don't see anything obvious.
Okay.
There's no like ligature marks around the neck. There's no look. It doesn't look like there's any defensive wounds on the arms, like she was doing anything like that.
Okay.
Kind of looking around the apartment, which I know was a task. It's a huge apartment. Is there any kind of heat scoring anywhere, like that would show that the body was bisected here as opposed to bisected somewhere else and brought here?
I'll give you yes, a little bit in the huge bathtub.
Okay.
It looks like the manufactured stone that is this bathtub has not like a melty spot, but like there's a couple of places where it looks like someone who was doing whatever with whatever kind of tool got close to the edge of the stone and marred it a little bit. So it's like a little shinier than the rest of it. The rest of it's kind of a matte finish, and this is, you can see that there's a couple of bits where whatever
got heated
used
enough
got heated enough to kind of
Mm-hmm.
glassify it a little bit.
Our lovely security person, are they still there, Aaron?
Yes,
Aaron Mumbus.
they're kind of hanging back and letting you guys
Yeah.
look around.
I think Haru would ask, does she take business here? Is this just her place that she lives?
Well, she certainly has an office here,
In the building?
like in the apartment.
Sure.
I don't know how often she has like visiting work related calls or anything, but
Okay.
it's possible.
After a very normal conversation, Haru wants to go and like search the office.
Mm-hmm.
You can totally do that.
Are there any parts of the apartment we're not allowed in because of security clearance?
Um, well, Aaron certainly wouldn't like unlock a computer for you or anything like that without a warrant. But no, I think
Okay.
he's perfectly content. Aaron, looking at all you, says, I've searched the apartment. Doesn't seem like there's anything amiss anywhere else. It doesn't look like anything's been freshly cleaned either. I mean, aside from the standard daily cleaning that happens here. But
And that's
it's
who
not-
found the body, right? Was the
yeah,
cleaning
the
people?
cleaning crew came in. Yeah.
At the beginning of the last session, didn't we ask for camera footage?
Yeah.
Okay, so we already
Yes.
asked for that.
Yeah.
Arrival and departure logs,
Okay.
but they don't take it once it's inside the building.
Okay.
Right.
So I guess I'll look for any communication device, any if the computer's logged on and accessible.
Sure.
For email communications, anything that just kind of plots out like who was the last person to communicate with her if we can't see who was last in contact.
Sure. To get the access logs and the footage from the hangar upstairs, it'll have to wait until after. Like Aaron will provide these things for you, but they'll upload them. As far as looking around for stuff here in the apartment, you're welcome to search anything like that, but Aaron's not going to help you unlock a device.
Okay. Yeah.
So you'd have to figure that out on your own, or take the device with you and
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, is there anything that looks official that we don't have access to in the office?
Well, in the office there is a fancy-looking computer terminal that's like UN branded.
Sure.
Presumably, it's some kind of access to judicial records, things like that. There is, I will give you both for free. There is a desk. It's like an e-paper desk plotter,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's got a calendar on it, and there can be notes written on it and stuff. But it's a digital surface to the desk. And last night it does have that she had an appointment. Not really an appointment. She had tickets to go see a performance of the Philharmonic. That's the last thing in the calendar.
And that was for last night?
Yeah.
Or is it one or two?
It was one ticket. I said tickets. You're right. Yeah. Sorry. It was just her ticket.
Do we find the ticket if we go through the clothing that was...
Physical ticket?
Probably.
Oh, yeah, I forgot what universe we're in. Don't mind me.
I think there probably is a physical ticket.
That's
Just made out of actual paper.
bougie of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because then it becomes like a collector's souvenir
Yeah.
after the performance. So it's all like on a beautiful little embossed thing with, there was gonna be a collection of like pops
Mhm.
music performed last night with a visiting performer that plays piano. That I will find the name in a second. Maybe I won't. I just want to had that part. Oh, there we go. Marcus Bauer is the name on the ticket as the guest performer. And Gia Yoon is the maestro of Philharmonic at this time. So those are the two names on the ticket. In the pile of clothes in the bathroom, you guys also find a fancier than yours looking KIA kind of a unit. That's just in a pocket.
Is it unlocked?
No.
No. Okay.
Cute.
Taking it to headquarters.
Looking at it, what appears to be the locking mechanism? Is it fingerprint? Is it code? Is it...
It looks like it's a sort of a combination biometric scanner thing. Like it's not a fingerprint, it's more like it's like a face map or maybe a retinal scan kind of a thing.
Is the body's eyes open?
But I mean,
You could try.
It could be.
Show it to the one with the mirror.
yeah, that's what that was exactly my plan. Let's give it a shot. Like, let's see what happens.
All right.
So morbid.
Give it a try.
I'll distract Aaron.
Good.
Not. I don't want to do this as like a skill roll.
Sure.
Just roll a d6. Tell me what you get.
Oh Lord. That's a 1.
Okay. It is sophisticated enough to realize that one half of the face it's scanning is a mirror, and it does not
Okay.
open.
I will put it with evidence and we can try to hack it later. Looking around like the living room and maybe in the office, are there, again, I might be in the wrong universe, photographs or some kind of images of like people that she's known, that she's friends, family, loved ones, people who, famous people that we might recognize that she might know and have a connection to?
Why don't you do a skill roll for this one?
Okay.
Why don't you do an intelligence observation? Yeah.
Okay.
Or it could be intelligence insight. I'll let you choose.
Oh, I'll do intelligence insight. I can find. There it is. Nope, 4 and a 5.
Oh,
Rolling real good tonight.
looking really good.
So no, there's not like an apparent collection of photographs on a table or a wall shelf. Nothing like that.
I think once Haru is satisfied with the office, want to use my KIA just to do a cursory like internet search as to if her name has popped up in any recent big news.
Sure. That's a good question. Nothing in particular recently.
Okay.
She was the judge that oversaw the bankruptcy and dissolution of Tyrell Corp back in the day.
Oh, well, that's
That's her big famous moment. Her, 400 different coffee cups
Mm-hmm.
on TV kind of bit for judicial fame. Other than that, she's mostly a financial crime judge that does that kind of work most of the time.
Tell him that away.
Anybody want to look at anything else while you're here?
I'm just gonna check, any other rooms in the unit.
Sure.
Any sign of disturbance or anything.
There's 4 other bedrooms.
Jesus.
None of them appear to be regularly occupied. Like the closet space in them are empty. But they're just there. One of them has actually been turned into like a home gym. So she's got several, like a rowing machine and a treadmill and one of those stair climber things like firemen have in the firehouse. Those kind of things in there. And I mean, she seemed like she was in pretty good shape.
She's still standing.
So what you're saying is the unit is available.
I mean, it might be soon.
I think Aaron said that the cleaning staff was still on site.
Yeah, they're still in
Are
the
they
building.
available for us to speak to?
Absolutely. Aaron will step away for a second and have a little conversation. Just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Kind of last I can think of that was just kind of cursory. Any signs of a break-in? Windows?
Certainly not.
Okay, I didn't think so, but
At this altitude, if a window was broken out, it would be like a hurricane in here.
sure.
So no,
Okay.
nothing like that.
I make sure to show them all the Tyrell dissolution case. Just find a headline and
That's where I knew the name from.
Interesting.
never heard of her.
Does she have an assistant?
Most assuredly. Let's see.
Would I be able to like Google the name of her assistant?
Yeah, I mean, it's also
win.
easy. Like, it's super easy to figure out like her office contact information.
Yeah.
Like, that's not that's very public knowledge. She's got both a personal assistant and like a law clerk that both kind of fill assistant roles. The personal assistant handles more of the outside work, social stuff, and that kind of thing, and the law clerk
Does the laws.
does all of the work-related
clerking.
stuff.
My law clerk friends will harm me for that joke later.
They're far too busy to actually watch the show. So
the law clerk
Mhm.
is actually a Nexus 9 replicant.
Oh.
Goes by the name of Noah. And the personal assistant is Olivia. Liams, Liams. Would you like registration number for Noah? Or is Noah okay?
I think Noah is fine.
Okay. I just wanted to check. I'm happy to come up with one if you want.
No,
but
it's okay.
I'm sorry, which one was the clerk? Which one was the personal assistant?
Noah is the law clerk,
Okay.
replicant, known replicant. Olivia Liams is the PA.
I'll forward the info about the case to. Do we have another Wallace contact besides Quell?
I mean, Quell's the only one that has directly interacted with your group.
So that's it.
I mean, do you want to talk to Wallace? 'Cause that could be fun.
No.
How are we
we-
feeling about talking to Wallace?
Mm.
They can wait.
Well, they're not the ones that called us in on this. They have no
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
they have no dog in this fight.
They don't get to tell me what to do today.
Not today. Tomorrow, probably.
No.
But I'm
Just
just
when
wondering.
more news of this gets out.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they'd be interested in to know.
That's up to you.
Hmm.
I think we got enough people to talk to.
I'm more inclined to piss on their boots than lick them.
I'm not saying we're helping them out, but maybe they have some insight into who might have had some bad blood with the judge.
It's them,
Yeah.
probably.
Well, I
Right.
don't know because he was part of the dissolving of Tyrell that let
Tyrell on
Wallace
that wallet.
pick up the pieces.
Yeah. But we don't know what they dissolved and what they let the Tyrells keep.
Well, there are no more Tyrells anymore.
Hmm. Maybe I found a new job as an arborist.
Technically, you saved one.
It's true.
Oh, sure.
By marriage.
Right. That doesn't count. That's a Tyrell consort.
I mean,
They don't call him Mr. Lilith because he's not a Tyrell.
yeah. But from what you saw, what Lilith still had was much diminished.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on to it for now.
What all from here is getting added to the public, well, to the LAPD file, not just the intergroup notepad.
I think most of it.
Yeah, I can think of anything I'd keep
Yeah.
to myself.
Okay. Are you going to call in Coco to pick up
The body.
the
Mm.
two halves?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
doing that. Pay
Mm-mm.
him the big money for that.
I got as close enough as I wanted to, thank you.
You did. You got
Yeah,
right up
I got
there.
right.
You really did.
Yeah. Is there anything else? Oh, you wanted to talk to
Cleaners.
those cleaners.
Yeah.
They arrive. It's a team of 5. That seems like a mix of there are 2 replicants and 3 that aren't. And the 3 that aren't kind of vary in age. The oldest being probably mid late 50s.
Okay.
And then all the way down to the youngest looks maybe 20. Hard to tell. But they've got like it's sort of like a big push cart.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Doesn't have wheels. It has like soft padded feet. So it doesn't make noise going up and down the hallways
Mm.
or in the apartment. It comes in and they push it in and it kind of, not like human feet, but like,
That's what I was
it's
picturing.
not like,
What?
it's not
I'm
like,
picturing like human feet on a wheel. It really wasn't.
It's just a gonk droid. It's fine.
Yeah.
Not the setting.
Yeah, those are
yeah.
definitely quiet.
It's not like some flesh-crafted horror that pushes. Like, that's not.
Well, I think I found the culprits, guys. They just needed a tire change.
Parts is parts.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, both feet were missing.
Oh.
Mm.
No.
Little stumper.
Stop.
So, and they're all wearing kind of these powder blue onesie overall kind of thing.
Okay.
And the cart is just filled with all kinds of cleaning things. You know, all the various tools. There's, you know, steamer and several vacuum cleaners and all of the stuff you could possibly want to clean a big place like this. And they're like, yes, what?
How
And
long
they're
ago?
all kind of looking nervous to be back in this apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long ago did you clean this apartment?
Just not we came in not long ago, like an hour.
Do you clean this apartment every day?
Yes.
On a scale from the most messy to the least messy, how messy was it this morning?
Not very. It certainly wasn't like after a party night or anything.
On like a 1 to 10, 10 being very messy, 1 being not messy at all.
1.5.
Okay, so like she wasn't here.
Yeah, she didn't seem to have. Didn't even seem to have eaten dinner here. There weren't any dishes in the sink.
You clean her. Never mind.
Well, of course.
Was there anything unusual from like how you usually find it, aside from the obvious?
I mean, it was unusual that the bed didn't appear slept in.
Okay.
It was still made. Well, I should say it was still turned down.
clothes from last night, were they going out clothes? Or the clothes that we found by the tub, were they going out clothes?
I mean, yeah, it looks like they were a
Okay.
nice outfit.
Got it.
Not,
Black tie.
yeah. I mean, in that neighborhood, it wasn't like a full dazzling evening dress.
Yeah, not Met Gala, but
fairly
like
conservative.
But going
Nice.
to the Philharmonic
Yeah.
outfit.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'll get the names of all of the cleaning staff. Just so we could
Sure. You can
eliminate
totally
them
have them.
from
mhm.
the possibilities.
Does she often have visitors?
She on Monday nights, she always has a group that seems to come over for dinner.
Is it the same group?
I'm not on the list. I'm not here when they have the dinner. I just clean it up.
And does she have other kinds of visitors?
Certainly not usually when we arrive. She's
You're
up
not
fairly
cleaning up
early.
From lots of people or
No,
orgy?
not. I won't say never. She certainly entertains sometimes.
Okay.
But not super regularly. It's not a Bacchanalia festival every other night or anything.
It's a nice place to have one. All right. I'm good.
While they're questioning the cleaning crew, I'm gonna kind of lean over to the security officer and just confirm you recognize these faces. They've worked here.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And they're all background checked and clearanced before they're allowed to work in the building.
Sure. Just want to make sure it wasn't, a
I mean,
disguised hit squad or something.
we even put them up in UN housing.
Oh.
That's part of the job.
Working in the wrong line of business.
Cleaning up after people, I don't know if that's worth the UN housing.
Obviously not like an apartment like this,
Oh God.
but much more like
Could you imagine?
the police issue apartments you could get a hold of, like Leah had that you visited last time.
Do any of the cleaning staff look more nervous than the other ones?
I think both replicants look nervous, especially given how well armed you are when you're asking a question. They're definitely a step above the humans' level of nervousness.
Okay.
And the humans kind of have a descending level of nervousness. Like the older cleaner is
Not
definitely
much.
like, I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
But
Literally.
it's more like you can tell that the middle one is the one that discovered the body.
Okay.
So they're pretty disturbed. If you ask any specific questions about it, they were like, I walked in, I saw that she was standing there naked, and I immediately apologized and walked out of the room, and then I didn't hear any response. We did the rest of the place. I came back to see if she had left the bathroom for us to clean it, and standing in the exact same spot, not moved. Then I realized what was going on, and we immediately left and called security.
There's no evidence of pets, right? Pets.
No.
Okay.
Mhm. You don't, in fact, see anything really alive in the apartment.
That's fair. I think more to like put on a show of normalcy. Haru is gonna run the replicants on the cleaning crew. Just run them through the system. Just check them out.
Sure. They both come up as registered
Yeah.
Nexus 9s.
I
They've
figured.
been recently employed here in the last 6 to 8 months.
And it's more of the like, I'm a replicant. You're a replicant. This is my job. You're doing your job.
Sure.
Just gonna.
And they both like give the
Yeah.
thumbprint and they, whatever other information you need.
Yeah. I just make it really normal. But
Sorry, there sounds like somebody's out back like hammering.
beating a
Something,
rug.
yeah.
Something.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That's all my questions for
Yeah,
the
like-
cleaning crew.
Can't think of anything else. You guys kind of covered.
Yeah. From what they tell you, the only room that remained uncleaned was the bathroom.
Okay.
All right, I want to leave before Coco gets here. He weirds me out.
Oh, probably too late at this point because they probably would have cleaned up their apartments. But trash, things that you might have found when you were cleaning the apartment.
Like we said, nothing major. There wasn't a big mess to clean up. It's already been sent down the chute.
That's what I figured.
We haven't done that many other apartments, so it'd probably be at the top if you want to go downstairs and look.
Want to go dumpster diving, Gavin?
Sure. You want to go dumpster diving?
Sure. Can't think of anything else I'd rather do.
So that road is open to you if you're interested.
Yay.
Love it. Amazing.
This coming from the person who sleeps in piles of garbage.
I'm not going to say anything.
I
I
mean,
knew
maybe
one
it's
of
a
you
new-
did.
Maybe it's a new crash pad.
Yeah, hey, this could be a nice, sweet spot. I bet they throw away good stuff here.
Prime
Nice
real
trash
estate.
in LA.
Yeah, better than red light flyers and beer cans.
So,
Amazing.
anything else here that you guys want to? Let's mark that down as the first shift of the new.
Yes. Shift 1, day 1.
Just to mess myself up, I did put it at shift 3, just because it's when it happened.
Same.
Fair enough. Let's just reset it to the morning.
Great.
That's fine. That way it's easier to keep track of as we progress.
Yes.
Okay. So, where does everybody think they want to head?
Well, I'm taking her KIA. Or,
Sure.
well, Gavin has her KIA because he tried to use it. But I'd like to have that examined, unlocked,
You can take it back to headquarters and
or weird otaku tech guy. Happy to have any contact with anything.
I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
Please don't make me go see the gun nut.
This guy.
Oh, I'm totally down to go see the gun nut. I think I want to go back to the precinct so I can try to see if I can track where she may have gone after the Philharmonic.
Okay. So you're gonna try and get into the KIA. You're gonna try and track her location after the concert.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back and look for similar crimes if if this MO has appeared before in any
Okay.
recent, preferably or historic
Check the
crimes.
files. Sure.
Yeah.
I want to bother her personal assistant.
Okay.
I love that for you.
All right. Let's start with. Going back and checking the records. Let's. This would probably be an intelligence tech role
Okay.
to get what you need out of the LAPD mainframe.
We're not super great at that, but we'll give it a try.
I believe in you.
Let's try.
Don't let me get this wrong. You're gonna get something out of this, whatever your role result is.
Don't accidentally crush the computer.
I don't know how to computer,
I mean,
actually.
if you get all ones, then maybe we'll have a discussion about how you
let
mess
it
up.
they'll
the
hear
Files are in
you.
the computer.
They're inside of it.
Okay, I got a 10, so that's 2 successes.
Very good. Okay.
Great. How can you computer?
You don't find any directly related bisection murders.
Sure.
Especially not cauterized like this.
Mm-hmm.
There is a record of a number of crimes dating back over years of like limb removal.
Sure.
Okay.
That crimes that in some cases have been cauterized, like they've been done with some kind of a hot something, and the answers vary, right? Like
Okay.
some of them it was like somebody literally like put a knife in a fire or over an electric burner until it was glowing and then went to town on somebody. Some of them are industrial related,
Okay.
like various like welding instruments or plasma torches, that kind of thing.
Are any of those portable enough to be plausible for our crime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some like yes, it is possible that something like a plasma cutter is portable enough. Energy density problems have kind of been solved at this point since you can have flying cars and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And the actual plasma cutter is only a handheld thing with like a battery pack, probably.
Okay, fair enough.
Much in the same way we think of now, like, like a battery powered skill saw.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have to go home every day and put 3D batteries in the back of our phone anymore. As horrific as that would be.
Ugh.
My cellular phone weighs 17 pounds, and I can knock myself unconscious if I'm reading in bed.
Amazing. Are any of these unsolved?
Oh, bunches.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I say, none of them listed are specifically, and certainly nothing that has like opposed body.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
You're not finding anything like that.
And are any of the victims in a similar line of work to our judge?
There have been a couple of powerful people that have been, well, probably not, no, not with the same type of murder.
Okay.
Not with any kind of dismemberment or separation kind of murder.
Okay.
You do find like a list of people above a certain pay grade in the UN that have had violent ends, but usually it's gun or knife.
Defenestration from their door.
Right. Shoved out a window.
Weird. Who
Weird.
would do such a thing?
Never gonna forget that.
So messy.
Okay. All right. Well, I have some murder weapon ideas now. Cool.
Sure.
Uh,
And it's easy for you to make the connection that whatever was used was definitely more than somebody heating up a knife,
yeah.
right? Because this cut through bone.
It would
and-
cool like halfway through if it was just a hot knife.
Yeah, unless they just repeatedly were doing it over and over again.
Maybe she was a wax figure and we just didn't notice.
You get a call from Coco in about 20 minutes, like, you sent me out to pick up a melted wax,
Wax
figure.
figure.
What is wrong with you?
It's your birthday cake.
But yeah, so that's probably not the case. It looks like it might have been an industrial kind of a tool
Okay.
or something, some kind of a weapon that you're not familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
even. Okay?
Yep.
Cool. Let's go over here.
Yep.
Let's get into that KIA.
Okay.
So, why don't you do an empathy connections? And this would be like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
Oh, okay. Jeez. You blowing these for okay.
Are you sure?
Were you blowing them for Thank you.
Because I notoriously roll well. Go on.
Channeling chaos and order here.
Hey.
One success.
Yeah.
So you make your way into the bowels of the LAPD building, and you find essentially the IT department, right?
Oh boy.
Poor guy.
And it's a windowless room with with a variety of odd smells wafting.
No.
Oh my god.
And this is no insult to IT people.
No.
It's the poor working conditions that they're shoved into
And
in
honest.
many cases. What?
And honest.
For sure. You get in there, and from behind the desk, because he's doing such an excellent job in Loki season 2,
Yeah.
Yes.
you run into the LAPD version of OB.
Oh. Okay.
That pops up from behind a desk, in the middle of fixing a KIA, right? Like it looks like it got shot, like a grazing shot right across the screen. So replacing the screen and all the wires are out and mechanics are all over the place.
Okay.
And let's say his name is George.
All right.
Best friend.
So he's there.
You have found the person that's a KIA expert.
Okay. So like when we call the help desk, like he's it. He's the...
Pretty much. It's either him or somebody else that works here that's not as good at KIA problems.
Okay.
Yeah, clearly he's it. He's IT.
He is all of IT.
Oh
He's
man.
it. Oh my.
I'm here all night, folks.
So I'll go up to him and ask, can you unlock this device for an investigation?
Oh, I'm sure. And he takes it from you, and then like as soon as he has it in his hand, he's like, "This isn't one of ours."
It's UN.
Oh. Let's take a step back here. You're supposed to have access to this device, right?
For an investigation, yes.
Very good. And you filed all the appropriate paperwork for that.
Pending. It's a lot of paperwork.
It is. You're right. You're right. All right. So let me roll to see how successful he could be doing this. 1 success. So it takes him the better part of an hour, right? He has like 2 little leads that he's inserted into the case at 2 spots. He didn't even look like there were holes there. That he's got into it, and it's running off to another computer that's running through all kinds of permutations on a little window. And then there's other cable that's trailing off to what looks like an old school oscilloscope. And like he's tuning it and adding numbers into whatever's happening on the computer window. Just completely beyond
Okay, yeah.
the average kind of work here.
All right.
But he manages to eventually get it to unlock.
All right.
When he does, the screen flickers on, and it just says, "Welcome, Judge," and then folds open into like a holographic display. So it's sitting on the desk, but now it has sort of light origamied itself into a whole hollow projector kind of a thing.
I'm impressed.
And it has like a little window that's pending docket items, and then a calendar and contacts and
you go to recent calls.
sure.
Or if George can go to that.
Sure. Well, now that it's open, he can unplug it and give it back to you.
Okay.
Recent calls. It looks like there's recent calls to both the law clerk and the personal assistant that happened yesterday. The law clerk right at the end of business hours, and the personal assistant in the evening. Not as late as the concert, but dinner time-ish.
And can I see if that was an answered call or was it a missed call to the judge?
These are calls outgoing,
outgoing to
like
them.
recent calls to them.
Okay.
The most recent incoming calls, there's probably one that's from like an automated number from the court. that's like, you know, blah, blah, blah has been added to your docket schedule at the following time.
Okay.
And then it's just,
The automation.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that kind of a thing. There's a couple of other contacts for various people's names that you don't really know. Maybe friends. Nothing specifically last evening.
Okay. George, I need a favor. Is there any way I'm not getting a lot of info from the list of calls made. Are you able to track the positioning of the device to track its last locations?
Oh, sure, sure. Let me think about it a minute.
Go, George. We believe in you, George.
Oh, yeah. George is like, no problem. And he just like kind of reaches up and swipes through the hologram a couple of times. And then it literally has like a GPS fitness tracker map kind of that pops up. And the it shows what she obviously took a spinner from the UN building to the concert. From the concert, came back home.
Okay.
Didn't stop anywhere in between the two. Didn't go out for drinks or anything. But the timing, it looks like she did stay after the concert a little while. Like there might have been a reception after the concert, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
To answer your question in chat, James, no, there weren't incoming calls that morning because she was discovered pretty early. So, like, we're just getting to court time now.
Was not sure if I, from the last session, if I requested it or if I was going to attempt it, but I wanted to check that data crystal, the database of memories, cross-reference if there were any that involved
Oh, yeah.
mirrors.
You did mention
I
that.
did.
You
Okay.
did mention that. You could totally have time to do that here, too.
I think we left off before.
Yeah, yeah. Let me think.
I'm just posing it now, reposing it.
For sure, for sure. There are several that come up that a couple that look like they're like memories that are sort of like a collection of folkloric sort of bad luck things. Like breaking a mirror is bad luck,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
and then going down into, you know, don't step on the crack in the sidewalk. Black cat crosses your path, cross the street, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
The other memories that you find, there are a couple that have significance to like looking in the mirror and seeing oneself. So it looks like some memories that were based on just observing oneself in a way, and how it's never actually your real self.
Okay.
Like there's some murkiness there. Like when you look in the mirror, it's never what the world sees because you're seeing it reflected back to you differently.
Okay.
That kind of thing. But nothing that's like somebody being killed with a mirror or anything like that.
So, if possible, I'd like to ping Coco, just like a text, like, need time of death and blood analysis, human or replicant.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Good question. Let me write it down. And time of death. Okay. You get back an acknowledgement, like, oh, certainly, I'm getting to work on it. I'll be back to headquarters with the remains a little bit later.
And my last wish is oh boy. Sorry guys, I'm gonna do it.
No, go for it.
I'm gonna ask I'm gonna let Quell know there's an interesting case that's come up regarding a judge who was assigned to the case for the dissolution of Tyrell.
You're probably not put through directly,
Yeah.
but you get the Chipper Wallace
The
AI
automatic.
assistant.
Have fun with that one.
Oh god.
But well, like happily takes a message
Of course.
about this, and like it seems like as you add to what you were just saying, like it's almost like the AI is like checkboxing keywords.
Mhm.
And like, oh, your message seems to be of a priority nature. I will make sure it's delivered at the top of the mailbox. Thank you for your help. If you need to be contacted, is this number a good number to contact you if Quell has any questions?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you for calling Wallace Corporation. Please stay on the line for your customer satisfaction survey.
Hang up.
Oh.
I hang up so hard. I'm good.
So you'll get back the information from Coco next shift. Okay.
Yeah. So investigating the gala, at least at the moment, is a bit of a ruse. I am more interested in what kind of records would the LAPD have on the replicant officers in the force? Is there a registration list? Basically, Gavin is concerned, wants to know if the LAPD knows that he's a replicant.
Oh.
All right.
That's fun.
So I don't know what that looks like, but that's his goal in this.
Okay.
The Esper Walls for lying. No one goes to the Esper Wall for genuine reasons in this game.
Only lies.
Only lies.
Well, okay. First things first. Why don't we do like an intelligence tech roll?
Okay.
Unless you're gonna try and convince someone to search for you, but then
No, that
yeah.
we don't need.
No.
We don't need that. Intelligence and tech. 8 and the 6.
Ooh.
Hey, look at that pushing.
All right.
Look at that
That pushing.
Are you kidding me?
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna push. I have to push again.
Yeah.
So we're gonna swap those.
Roll different dice.
You want some luck?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
There we go. 2 6s.
Yay! Oh my god.
Jesus.
That's okay. Use up all that resolve.
Oh, you're
You're like out now,
Easy to
right?
come by.
No, I have one left.
one left.
Great.
Yeah.
Nervous laughter.
So you spent some time at the computer terminal, and you're searching and you're searching. You've finally you're able to kind of mentally engineer your way into the deputy chief's files,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he uses a stupid password, and you manage to piece it together like, it's probably
Go Dodgers.
Yes.
yeah, it's
Passwords
it's, the deputy chief is awesome
Yeah.
with an like 2 exclamation points.
I'm
at
the
end.
best.
Yeah. And So you get into the file list. There is a listing of replicant officers, but it is only the ones that you know.
Okay.
So you do not find any information about yourself or Fjor.
Okay.
Not that you knew you were looking,
Yeah,
but
I wasn't. Yeah.
it's not like, oh, look, look what I also found.
Oh, why?
No, but you are not listed.
Normal Nexus 9 models.
And the files don't seem encrypted at all. They don't seem like they're.
I mean, they were locked in his
What do you mean, like, hidden?
private.
like there's no. I don't know how files work.
No,
Encoded?
it doesn't seem
That's the
like
word.
it doesn't seem like they're like. This is accessible to the deputy chief at pretty much any time.
Okay. Cool. Tight. Great. Trying to think if there's anything else I want while I'm in here. Yes, and I will message you more about this later.
Okay.
I guess when being this in the deputy chief's files, maybe it might be anything about the murder of Wyatt Hunter. And we can figure that out at a later time. We can retroactively figure that out. But one of those things that I've been fleshing out in my brain, like I realized I haven't told Dave any of this. Maybe I should give Dave some information.
That'd be great. I mean, I can make some stuff up if you want, but I think we should collaborate on making that stuff up. Yeah.
Cool. Tight.
So you do find
Okay.
a file.
Cool.
That's fine.
And I guess any orders from Wallace Corp about hidden replicants, like anything that's gonna try to like basically Gavin needs to know who knows.
Mm-hmm.
There probably is basically just sort of like an onboarding email for like using replicants in the LAPD, and kind of a like there's a contact list of Wallace people, like if you have an officer that's exhibiting these kinds of behaviors, contact this person. And if if you have feedback, contact this person, that kind of stuff. But there is an email like that that says that there will be some undercover officers that are added to the roster to see how that interaction plays out with other cops.
And it doesn't give any indication like who would have that information. Probably just Wallace Corp.
Yeah. It said like they are not going to be listed to the LAPD at all.
Okay.
Like, they're sent in as transfer officers, and that's when
And
you start working.
who sent this email? It's just a generic Wallace email. Is it from Quell?
It's actually from that O'Leary, the engineering
Mm-hmm.
head, the one that was a memory implant specialist.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's who sent that. Quell is like the PR.
Yeah.
Person.
Firefighter outer. The fixer,
Yeah.
if you will.
That's
And
basically-
this is that engineer that's responsible for memory implantation and therefore would be connected to this program.
Okay.
I can add something funny, which is that if it's okay with you, Dave, Haru was hired. Haru was not brought on like a normal Nexus replicant. We were hired.
Yeah. Passed a job interview. And
Yeah, we were
everything.
hired. We're like real employees.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
I just think it's funny.
It's fine.
I think
Poke it a little.
actually they're probably not even on the list that you
Yeah.
found. That's probably the information you
Mm.
I
discovered.
was like, I actually don't think that Haru would be on some of that stuff. I was thinking about it.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's totally fair.
Hired
yeah.
after the fact, not directly from Wallace.
Yeah. We were just hired like people.
Yeah, we're people.
I'm sure it fits really well.
Oh, that feels real good.
Yeah.
That feels, that's lovely. Cool.
I found some lemon juice that I'm just gonna put right in
Just
that wood.
there?
Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Let me know when you want your knife back.
Oh no, you can hold on to that for now.
Appreciate it. Cool. So yeah, then I will try to do a cursory search about the gala to cover up,
Sure.
But my main focus was that investigation.
Let's see. You find out that the performance last night was sort of the first in a new series where they're kind of going through like the history of music in popular art forms.
Oh,
I wanna
love
go to
that.
show. Yeah.
So it's some of it's like the music of the movies and television, and then into video games and interactive hollows and all of that. So it's kind of this progression of that kind of stuff that's being performed.
Love that. Any information as far as looking at her ticket, where she was seated, possibly who she might have been seated by?
I might have a handout.
Oh.
Haha, pay dirt.
So, have you anybody been to the Disney concert hall?
Me.
Mhm.
It's still there.
Of course it is.
It's a thing.
Disney's still there.
It's been built higher.
Ooh.
So the actual whole foundation of the building was lifted up. Sorry, everybody at home, if I whacked the microphone in the gesture of lifting a concert hall. But so it is up. So the only way to get into the concert hall is via spinner.
Okay.
It doesn't have ground access any, and it's not like got parking. It's
Underneath it.
people are dropped off, spinner flies off, that kind of thing.
Wow.
She was seated. I'm making a little X on the chart. So the way the concert hall set up, there's seating actually behind the orchestra. Also, she was sitting in the orchestra view section back there, in the green.
I will hold this up to the camera so people at home can see.
Good seats.
Disney Concert Hall.
It's a good building.
It's a really cool
It's
concert
really
venue.
cool.
I saw Herbie Hancock there.
All right.
Okay, cool.
And you know that those seats are very
Yeah.
pricey. But you don't have access to like ticket information from here.
Right. That's what they can investigate.
So yeah, knowing who was sitting around, it would be wealthy or important people, but
And then any kind of surveillance as far as who she left, like, who did you come in with anybody? Did you leave with
Right.
anybody?
there is a series of Esper cameras that are kind of mounted at the edges of the property. So it shows where spinners pull up and people can get out and get in. So she arrived with her personal assistant in a spinner. You have that on video. You're able to, you see like, okay, well, out steps the judge and then out steps some other woman. But the personal assistant does not go into the venue. They have a little discussion of some kind, and then the personal assistant gets back in the spinner and leaves. At the end of the night, directly after the concert, there's a big group, lots of people are leaving the venue. She does not appear in that footage. She appears with a smaller group of people leaving later, presumably the ones that stayed for some kind of reception, kind of a thing, like a meet and greet with the artists
Mm-hmm.
sort of deal. She is chatting with two people. And one of them flamboyantly dressed, looks like a Korean woman, wearing what looks like a tailored tuxedo, but with big shoulders,
Oh, I love this.
like very big. Like wearing underneath the tuxedo, wearing like football pads. Kind of
Oh,
size, like big. And the other one is very tall, like NBA player size, black man in a tuxedo. And they seem to have a discussion. The judge gets in her vehicle and leaves without them.
any kind of identification we can pull up for the two.
Yeah. One of them is very quick and easy to discover. The conductor of the Philharmonic,
Oh,
Gia Yoon,
Gia Yoon. Yes.
and the other, you don't have a record.
Okay. Cool. Tight. Right, that's enough to go on, at least for now.
Okay.
I'm off to go bully an assistant.
Yes.
What that you guys have found is going in your collective file.
I would upload everything about like possible weapons. I also have thought of one more thing I would want to search for while I'm there, if possible.
Okay.
I wanted to look and see if there were any crimes involving the judge, like if she received any like threats or harassment, any like previous cases.
Yes to threats and harassment. Daily.
Credible or repeated ones.
Nothing specific.
Okay.
Certainly there's nothing that you see that's like, I'm gonna cut you in half.
Breaking your head.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be waiting in your bathroom.
It's just weird to have like a stalker.
I'm gonna see you in your mirror.
Yeah, right, yeah. I'm glad you leave the windows open because I'm coming in.
Yeah.
Like nothing specific like that. Probably the most repeated is it looks like there's some kind of a club owner that no longer is a club owner, based on some kind of a suit that was in front of the judge, who repeatedly sends messages like, someday I'm going to see you again, and
Okay.
but that's about the extent. That seems regular.
Okay. And just upload that just in case.
Sure.
Person of interest.
Sure.
Potential person of interest.
And how do I pin that on Taffy?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, and it's now Taffy.
It's not. It's specifically not Taffy.
Okay.
He is still a club owner.
Right, but how do I pin this on him?
He cut her in half with his burning wit.
Buy that somewhere, did he?
He could afford to, because he doesn't pay anybody else. All right. So, you managed to look up. I've already forgotten Olivia.
Liam's.
Are you planning to just go straight to her apartment? Or...
Well, I think yes.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Very good. All right. So
The direct approach.
you look up and you're able to find her address and
Yep.
make your way there.
In a spinner with the whole, like, I'm very obviously a Bladerunner.
Okay. You get to the building and it's nice-ish, right? It's definitely a step above LAPD kind of housing.
Kind of what I expect Gavin to live in.
Kind of. Yeah. Like, this is definitely like they're working a personal assistant job to an important, very wealthy person.
Yeah.
This is the overflow of that privilege. And you get to the building. There is a like security check
Sure.
to enter the building, but you can get through that with
Show
your
my
badge.
badge.
That's fine. You get up to the apartment, and it's, 75 floors up. You get there, and it's just a standard looking apartment kind of a door. It's not wooden.
No. God.
It is the kind of a door that looks like it's gonna recess in and slide to the side. And there's
Big.
like a video doorbell kind of a thing set up next to it.
Yeah, we ring the doorbell, but also bong, bong, bong on the
All right.
door.
You do the immediate like doorbell ring.
Yeah.
Remind me later after the stream to tell you my story about that. Very recently.
Haha.
Yeah. It's wild. I have a neighbor who is wild. You've heard some of the
Oh,
stories.
yeah.
This is a new one. It's real good.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, you ring, you bang on the door. Inside, you immediately hear someone, and like the speaker comes on. Yes, can I help you?
LAPD. Got some questions.
Can I see your identification, please?
Badge. Not even like face, just badge in front of the camera.
Like super up close.
Yeah.
Fisheye badge. All right, just 1 second. And you hear some bumbling around inside, and the door unseals and slides to the side. And standing in front of you is a smartly dressed, looks like 30-ish-year-old woman, kind of wearing a blue pantsuit sort of a thing. And it looks like she was sitting at a desk setup that you can see down the hall. So the chair is kind of pushed back, and she's like, "What can I do for you,
Ms. Liam, do you
officer?"
know the whereabouts of your employer?
I assume she's at home. She has court in
All
a
right.
few hours.
We're going to start with the bad news then. Miss Liam, is your employer, Judge Belsley, is no longer with us.
Oh, good heavens! What happened?
That's what we're here to discuss.
Was it some kind of an accident, or are you implying that there was?
It's under, I'm going to call it questionable circumstances.
Oh. Well, come in. And she turns and walks you into beyond where the desk is. There's a sort of living room setup. And she kind of walks in and has that look like she's a little in shock
Yeah.
about the news. What can I do?
I'm going to start with some basic questions. Where were you last night?
Well, last night I dropped the judge off at her concert, and then I came home.
And your security system can confirm that?
I'm sure it can.
The next question would be, does the judge have any known enemies?
Oh,
Prominent ones.
well, she's generally accepted to be fairly fair, I would say. I don't keep tabs on all of her decisions. That's more not my job.
course.
I help with out of work events and things. She doesn't usually have extra security with her. Did something happen at the concert?
No.
No. So no, she doesn't have a bodyguard or anything. She doesn't feel that she's been in fear of anyone in particular like that. I mean, her building is secure, so
Very. But you don't know of any notable stalkers or repeated threats?
and you get kind of the same information
Yeah.
about there's this club owner that sends these disjointed emails often. she's seen some high-profile cases over the years, but I don't recall there being anybody in particular that has caused a problem because of them.
All right.
You know, in general, it seems like even when rich people lose money because they did something wrong, they still have more money.
Is not the truth.
They're generally not that upset.
Except for apparently this guy.
Fair. He wouldn't qualify as what I would call a rich person. So I think he cared a little more than many.
And she's never received any significant blowback for the Tyrell case.
No, not that I'm aware of. No.
Interesting.
I wasn't working for her back then.
Fair enough. That was before both of our time. Well, if you think of anything or find anything out of place in your records, will you give me a message?
Certainly. Do I need to do anything? Do I need to go fill out any paperwork about this, or?
As of now, just answer when we call.
Certainly. Can I contact her legal counsel and begin the process of dealing with her death? And
I think that's fair, but you're not going to be able to get the body for a while. It is currently evidence.
oh God. Yes, certainly. Well, I'll contact the lawyers and see what they recommend, I guess.
Does she have any next of kin?
She didn't have any children herself, no. She does have some family. I assume they're going to hear from the lawyers when they get to that phase.
All right. Well,
She had a brother that lives up north in Seattle. And then she has a niece and a nephew. The nephew or one of the two lives here in LA.
we will probably
I-
be reaching out to most of them.
Certainly, but I've never met them. I couldn't.
And your law counterpart, Noah,
Oh, yes.
let us reach out to them first.
Oh, do you think he was involved?
Just going by the book.
Do you think I'm involved? Oh, God.
Just answer when we call.
Oh, all right. Well, like, if there's anything else I can do for you, please just let me know.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Let me get busy. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't even offer you. Do you want a bottle of water or anything?
I'm all right. Thank you. I don't need a lot of that.
All right. Well, again, I'll be here. If you need anything, just contact.
Haru unceremoniously just kind of leaves.
This interaction is done.
Pretty much. Okay, I'm done talking to you. Goodbye.
End transmission.
You're sitting in my living room. Yeah. Okay. So, I think that's probably a good spot for us to take our little break.
Yeah.
End of a shift. I think that's a good time. So, for those of you watching at home, live, we will be back in 5 to 10 minutes. If you're watching this later or listening to it later, we'll be back almost. Welcome back. See, I told you that was instantaneous.
Aha!
Or not for those rest of you. Sorry.
Time travel.
Yeah, we're all excellent time travelers in one direction at one speed.
I'm a pro at that one.
Yes. Less.
All right. So that wraps up shift 2 of this investigation. So moving on to shift 3. At the beginning of this shift, well, let's talk about where you guys think you might be heading, and then we'll see.
I think I'm sticking around LAPD headquarters because I wanted to see if Fjor was able to get into the KIA, and I have some questions for our lovely dead person examiner.
Oh,
That's not the official term for that.
Coroner.
For Coco, he gets to be the dead person examiner.
Right. Dead person enthusiast.
Yes.
He can
An
just have
aficionado.
a list of amazing job titles on his business card. Sure.
I'm gonna go visit Noah,
All right.
wherever they keep Noah.
Cold storage.
It's like years back now, somebody was super shocked that I didn't know. Oh, it was way back when you guys were doing the old vampire game on Happy Jacks.
100
And I'd
years
never played
ago.
a game with you yet.
Uh-huh.
And we'd announced that we were going to be doing the Tales from the Loop, or no, Rifts.
Rifts was the first
Rifts,
one,
yeah. And people are like, "Oh, it's great that you get to play with all your friends," and I'm like, "No, it's great that I get to play with new people too that I don't know." And they're like, "What do you mean you don't know Sam? She does Happy Jack." And I'm like, "We don't all live in cryopods underneath the garage."
It's like
Yeah.
children in school and their
Yeah.
teachers are outside of school. Yeah.
Just open the Tupperware and let us out for
our one game, and then we have to go back. Like, I'm like, no, there's lots of people that I don't know until I get a chance to play a game with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a treat.
Okay, sorry. That was a weird aside. I don't know why I decided to land on
Good.
it in my brain.
I mean, you don't have to start with me. No, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Well, so I just found out from George/OB.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the KIA is unlocked, and so I can see where she'd been. Just went to the concert, lingered, and then went back. Have I heard from the coroner yet?
You will this shift.
Okay.
You will get the message back with that information.
Okay.
For sure.
Did we ever go through the trash pile?
No.
Oh boy. It's going to a trash party alone.
Was there any doubt you were going to go alone? I did not RSVP to that party.
I don't go if Gavin invites me to a trash party. I go of my own volition.
Okay, all right. Left me on read.
Yeah.
Just left me.
Yep.
I will go back to the apartment to just ruffle. Leave no stone unturned.
Sure. All right.
Like a real human investigator.
I have absolutely no idea.
I mean, you can see about tagging along to something.
Yeah, that's a
too.
good idea. I think I am going to tag along to if Haru doesn't mind tagging along.
Yeah, like they upload everything about the conversation with the very uneventful conversation with Olivia, and it's like next stop to tell the next person.
Great. Why did I come along as someone who can actually talk to people?
I did fine.
Look at transcript. Sure, Jan. Yeah, so I'll tag along with Haru.
Sure. Okay. So, as we get started here, let's start with you get a message back from Coco. The judge is absolutely not a replicant. And the time of death was approximately 45 minutes to an hour after the judge would have gotten home from the concert. It's a little hazy on like an exact time of death because the manner of death is kind of extreme, and also Coco's theory is that it kept the body temperature higher because of however much heat was applied. So, and that's kind of how they determine how long a person has
Gotcha.
been dead when they're discovered.
Okay.
Blood stayed hotter longer.
And toxicology, anything unusual in the blood, sedatives, narcotics,
He
opioids.
hasn't had a chance to run the, like, literally he just did the
Okay.
first two things that you had messaged about.
Okay. Well, those are the questions I'll pose to him.
Sure.
Thanking them first of all.
Sure.
And I'm on the top of the mailbox for Quell to get back to me.
Sure. You might get a call back here in a minute.
Oh,
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, well that's all I have, and then I'll go back to wherever I'm going to sort through the trash.
Okay.
can I flute so high?
You just arrive at the lowest level of that UN tower.
Yummy.
It is still a secured building, even at the bottom floor, right? But with your badge, you can get access to get inside. And there is like a full one of those 40-foot long skip loader dumpsters that's underneath just a big chute. Yeah, it looks like the bottom of the sand crawler, Star Wars. But it doesn't suck up anything. It all just falls in.
Okay.
I'd say you probably have a minute of looking at the dumpster going, and in that minute, you actually get a call from a number you do not recognize. It is not a Wallace number. It doesn't look like it's coming from Wallace Corp. You've seen the Wallace calls come up with, the full like Wallace display when they're connecting, but.
They want to talk to you about your extended warranty.
Yeah.
About your extended warranty.
Or installing solar even now.
Or my
We haven't seen the sun in 25 years. but-
Yep.
they want to talk to me about the newest Wells Fargo scam.
They're like, if you don't send us a bunch
my
of
account, yeah.
Google Play gift cards,
Yep.
we're going to have to call the sheriff on you for tax evasion.
So I don't recognize this as Quell. Does Quell ever contact us by a number that we recognize?
You've never seen this
Never
number.
seen this number. Might be a robocall. Which is very relative these days. Okay, I'll go ahead and accept it.
Now it is a robocall.
Can I record? Yeah.
Got him.
Oh, God. No, I just imagine
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Just,
After the beep, leave a message.
a room.
Sorry. And literally.
I just imagine now there's whole floors with like 250 replicants just dialing numbers,
Random number.
calling. Oh man.
Rough.
Can I record this call, or is this like
You
Apple
can.
phone? You can't.
You can.
Okay, I'm recording.
And immediately the face pops up on the other side. And it takes you a second to recognize the face because they're not wearing any makeup. But it is the Frankenstein ballet dancer
Oh.
from the other day. And she is in tears. And is immediately like, I didn't know who to call. I need help. My friend is dead. You know, the other dancer from the other night.
All right.
You were so nice when you came to the club. So I tried to get a hold of you.
Where are you now?
I'm at this after hours kind of a club place. I came here just to relax after doing my last shift.
So tell me what happened. What?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Someone told you your friend was dead,
No,
or you found?
this place. He was here with me, and he kind of disappeared through the night, and then I was here hanging out, and then they're closing up. The lights came on. I heard a scream from the back. I ran back there, and he's dead in the bathroom.
Okay.
You
What's your-
remember?
what-
You met him too. The guy that did the wrestling.
I remember. Yeah, I remember. Okay. What's your location?
And she sends it to you. It's a club.
Okay.
Well, it's less a club and more like one of those like after the club's closed, people can come here kind of places.
Okay. Okay.
Which kind of explains why it's just closing now, like
Okay.
midday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell her I'm on my way over.
Oh, okay. They said they'd let me wait inside.
All right. I'm headed over. So. All right. Too bad. Didn't say when I was gonna head over. Jeez. I mean, is there any point in going through the trash, or is it just like buried now?
I mean, it would take you the whole shift of searching through trash.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll go to where do I know her name?
Sure.
I feel like we have a name at some point.
I don't know if I ever actually gave a name or if it was just if it was just the description of their dance
I think
outfits.
so.
Yeah.
That's what I
I
remember.
did love their dance.
Her name is Amelia.
Mm,
Um. All right. Well, I will just let my teammates know that outside of this investigation, I have to investigate something else.
something more important than
And
a UN judge
Another crime.
via message.
Another possible homicide.
Related? Question mark.
Unknown. I'm
On the books or off.
on the books.
Why weren't we notified?
I'm sure a call has just gone through. It was just very recent, so I'm going to investigate an associate of the victim. I don't
You
have
could
any.
just say the trash smelled bad.
Not as bad as the stink waves from you every morning before your shift.
I shower.
It rains a lot in LA.
Who's dead?
One of the dancers that we met.
You're gonna have to narrow that down.
I meet a lot of people.
I meet a lot of dancers.
So do I.
From the
Sometimes I
snake
say the
pit?
night, but this was someone that I met. I just relate to them like the night that we met that
Mm,
saw the dancers.
Well, you guys all saw
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Ultimate Warrior show, yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
So it is a personal matter.
No, this is an official matter.
It could be both.
Bingo.
Let us know. Can you back up?
I might be calling on you, Kestrel. Good to know.
You get to deal with Taffy.
I'd like to deal with his face.
All right. So I head over.
You get to this club, and it's a place that it has no signage, right? It's like a back door on the side of a building. You go inside, and it's got like a switchback stairway that goes down 2 floors. So like the stairs are actually longer. Like when stairs go up just one level, it kind of does up and then up again. This is like a whole floor down and then a whole floor down again. So it's like double the distance down. You get down inside, and the place is just covered in various fabric textures. Like all of the upholstery around the place is like different.
Okay.
So it looks like somebody ran through a bunch of scraps and just threw it on everything. The reason why you can see all this so well is the lights are on. Most of the chairs are upturned on top of tables. They've done some cleaning out in the main room. But you see sitting next to the bar at a table is Amelia, and she still just kind of looks upset. And she sees you come in and she goes, he's back there.
Okay. So I'll let everyone else know that I'm at the scene. The crime. I'll ping my location for Kestrel.
Just for Kestrel.
You're occupied, aren't you guys? Right? You didn't want to join me in the dumpster dive.
No,
Absolutely not.
All right.
this is my kind of dumpster diving.
Oh, try to remember that next time. And then I'll head over to her and try to consult.
You see, excuse me, you see that there's somebody that's kind of sitting with her at the table. They kind of look up at you and give you like a, okay, and kind of point down a little hallway off the back. Yeah. Do you want to go back there or do you want to
Yeah.
stop at the table first?
I'll stop at the table. I just want to clock who this person is with her.
Okay. She kind of says, like, he's the bartender. He told me I could stay, and I told him I would call a nice person that, well, did she ever find out you were a cop? No.
Nope. I don't think so.
But I think she was made aware that you were part of the group that Taffy was talking to.
You know what? Yeah, because we came in and started talking to Taffy after we met them,
That's right.
and we were
Yeah.
hanging out with these two.
That's right, because they were the first ones we ran
And these
into.
two are
Yeah.
the obvious cops.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
What do you
So-
mean?
What?
So
You walked into the front door with your badge out.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Also, I look like a SWAT team.
Yeah, a single woman SWAT team. So yeah, we made ourselves.
Okay.
so
I'm at least very cop friendly.
That was very subtle.
We could surmise.
Let it be known Joey's a good producer.
Hey, I did it. I'm doing my job.
He said that he could wait if I was going to call somebody that I knew that could maybe handle the situation.
Okay.
So we haven't called the cops yet. I thought maybe you'd be able to handle it better.
Okay. Well, let me check out what's in the back. And I asked the bartender, were you present as far as we can tell when the incident happened?
Yeah, I was working this whole shift. We've got a bouncer guy out front, but he's gone home already before we found.
All right, let's take a look.
And Amelia's kind of like, do I have to go back there again?
No, just stay here,
Okay,
but don't leave.
sure. And they kind of gesture you around the corner, and you walk down this hallway that leads past what's obviously kind of like the liquor storage / keg room kind of place. Looks like there's a big walk-in fridge in there and stuff, but just past that, there's a series of like individualized bathrooms.
Okay.
And the third one is the only one that still has the door shut. The rest just look like club bathrooms, right? They're not clean or nice. They're public bathrooms after a busy night,
Oh,
and they
boy.
haven't been cleaned yet.
Okay.
But you get to the third one, and you crack open the door, and laying kind of up against the toilet is the Ultimate Warrior. And he has something around his neck, but it's hard to tell what it is because it has been pulled through most of the neck. So the front of him is just covered in ick. But you can see that there's still something there that's not people part.
Okay. All right. So I'll just investigate the wound a little bit more just to try to identify what's going on in that area.
Sure. Oh, it's not even really a roll. You can see when you get closer. And there's a huge puddle of blood on the floor, right? And it's been there long enough that it's starting to get tacky, like super sticky, gross. But what is wrapped around the neck is looks like a braided sort of cloth rope kind of thing. Not super thin. It doesn't look like, for example, it doesn't look like a garrote wire,
Yeah,
right?
you got garroted.
But it is definitely looks like someone used a thicker piece of material to do the same job.
Ugh.
Take some strength.
Yeah, that's strong.
And cruel. Deliberately so. Then I will note that as well.
Sure.
So I will take, I hate to say it, I will take some pics.
Sure.
And as discreetly as possible with respect to the dead. But I'll forward those to Kestrel. I mean, Kestrel has a background in assassination.
You would know that she has killed a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Assassination is not the word I would use.
No.
They have retired people, human and replicant.
Yeah, I mean, you would probably know that she came from off-world and has a large combat background.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just send a message. Have another unusual murder. And it looks deliberately cruel, but it took a lot of strength. Is this so I'll send you the picture of the grot wound and just say, I mean, is this because this been hired hand assassin? Is this typical combat technique?
Not a typical combat technique, and if it's a professional, they're real sloppy. That looks personal. Or panicked.
I can't tell if it's panic, but it's unusually gruesome, like the case we're investigating now. I don't know if there's any connection.
Significantly messier. It's a different MO, but just as creative. Your victim have any other signs of a struggle on him? I'm assuming you sent me kind of a close-up picture.
Yeah. Does it look like
Well, it looks like the Ultimate Warrior put up a fight. As things started going, like, there's a mirror over the sink that looks like it's been cracked by like an elbow, maybe. Some flying limb probably hit it. The other bathrooms did not have cracked mirrors, so that's different than what we saw in the other rooms. It looks like as it was happening, like blood splatter all on the walls, right? So like as it was happening, he was struggling and it made a mess over a large portion of the room.
So it looks like a little bit of a struggle.
But you don't see a lot of like wounds on the arms or anything like that.
Yeah, I think he was caught by surprise. But he might have seen someone in the mirror coming up behind him.
Well, your perpetrators probably got a lot of blood on them with struggle like that. The club have any cameras in it?
I'll check it out.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, no way.
This club cameras.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then I'll go back to Amelia.
She would ask you what's the name for the name of the victim.
It's loading.
Hold on.
Just to double check they don't have anything in common with our
Oh,
judge lady.
Lucas. I will say both Amelia and Lucas are replicants.
Okay.
That's why they were such good dancers.
Would you say you're having a garrote time?
Oh. Really?
Just fountains of fun in there.
Oh boy. Oh,
I found that one a little hard to swallow.
Oh.
Oh.
I'll choke on it.
He's trying to drag him back to his lair. Nick.
Ooh.
I'm done.
Thank you. Okay. You sure?
For now.
No, I'm not
There's another
sure.
one
now.
in there. I feel like there's another one.
Just give it time.
Yeah.
I got so many more.
I'm sure. All night. So I'll go back to Amelia and oh no, I'm gonna have to call the police to investigate this because this might be tied into some other activity around town. But
Oh. Well, okay.
I'm really sorry about your friend. Were you at some kind of affair before you came here? This is a place for like after. Where were you before this?
We both did dance shifts at the snake pit earlier. And then to relax, after we finished up, we just came here.
I mean, there weren't any incidents at the snake pit. I'm just trying to figure out who would want to have killed your friend in such a gruesome way.
There wasn't anything in particular that stood out. Certainly not like the last time. There was nothing like that. It was just kind of a normal shift. We did our numbers and then went back and got changed, and then the two of us left and came here, and we were hanging out, but then I went to dance with some people, and we kind of would bounce back and forth with folks who we met here and have a few drinks. And
So was it
then,
all strangers here or anyone you knew?
I mean, a couple of people we've seen around here before. This isn't our first time here, but
Was there anyone unusual? Anyone unusually tall, big, muscular? Someone standing out, not mixing in with the crowd? Here or behind the bar?
The bartender does not look particularly tall or muscular. I think he's just kind of average. She remembers that Lucas was dancing and spending some time with a group of people that they looked like people that had come down here to kind of slum it.
Were they dressed casual,
Yes,
street
but
casual, or
casual in that way that people that have well done clothing dress casually.
Mm. They were in their Lululemons.
Like, it looked like they had some money.
so they were dressed down?
Yeah,
How many of them were there? Would you guess?
3 or 4. I wasn't really over there with them.
If I showed you a picture later, would you be able to identify them?
I can try. I can't say anybody stood out in particular, but
Okay, no, it's fine. As long as you can possibly identify them later, then. I have to do a little bit of research, but I'm gonna try and figure out who did this.
well, I appreciate it.
I have a feeling your friend was here at the wrong place at the wrong time, but
Sure.
how do you
okay.
know Lucas, by the way? Has he always been a dancer?
I mean, that's where I met him. We,
Snake pit?
yeah. We kind of became friends because we ended up performing on the same shifts.
Do you know anything about before the snake pit, what his life was?
Oh, I don't. I mean,
No one you know would want to do this to him. Didn't mention he had
No.
any enemies or anyone.
I mean, sometimes we get the, creepers at the bar, but nothing particular.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could go check and see if any of the bartenders saw anybody any particularly creepy last night, but I didn't have any troubles.
Okay. And who exactly, remind me, who found the body?
I did. Because it was time to go and I didn't see him anywhere and I went looking around, but because usually if he's going to leave with somebody or something, he tells me.
Okay. Where can I find you if I have any questions?
Well, I mean, I'm either at the snake pit working or got a little apartment. I can give you the info.
I will take the address. Yes.
Sure. And you've already got my number.
Yep.
Because she called you.
Okay. All right. So I'll send that into the LAPD.
Okay. You probably get another message from Coco like, "Where are you?
The fuck, man.
Captain Homicide today."
Someone decided it's hunting season.
Oh, well, I suppose I will put on my orange jacket before I go home.
Instantly regretting. Instantly
This guy.
What you get for sticking your neck out for someone?
regretting.
Again.
Again.
You were just sitting there waiting.
There it was.
I was.
Yep. I knew it.
It took a minute, but it got there.
Called it. Okay. That's it. I'll just call it in and circulate to LAPD.
Sure.
And still haven't heard about the video footage in the apartment building from the UN.
The landing and
Yes. You would get some information back about that. There is footage of the judge's spinner coming back to the building,
Okay.
and then landing in the garage. The judge is the only listed occupant. that came back at the same time. As far as the access logs, there's kind of quite a list, because it's how many people were coming into the building that night. So it would take you some time to go through the whole list. And
All right, so I'll save the list for now. And where are you guys now? You guys are on your ways.
We're gonna go see Noah.
you see Noah the
And
law.
Kestrel.
I'm at headquarters.
Yeah.
Before you went out, she would have come to get the KIA from you,
Okay.
so she could sift through it.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. And if so just so you don't have to duplicate the task, let's just say I would have shared the GPS locations, like showing where she went.
Yeah.
But I think I will head back. Unless Kestrel had told me they're leaving, I will head back to headquarters. Just hang out at my desk and chew the fat with a good old combat buddy.
All right.
Throw pencils at the ceiling.
Just wait for the next killing.
Twiddle your thumbs.
Okay.
Put our heads together.
So let's go ahead and go to the trip to visit Noah.
Cool.
So the place where you know Noah is going to be is the courthouse. So it is unusual because it's not in a tower. It's like a big federal-looking building, right? It looks very much like you imagine the government buildings in DC look, right? It is this white marble-looking building, but it's set in a park around it. The like everything is simulated, but it's got fake grass, park benches. There's what's obviously some fake trees. Some of them are like, cell towers that look like a tree, that kind of stuff. But it's designed to give it that impressive sort of look of an official building. And it's a big building, right? It's probably 10 stories high in design. You're able to get into the secured campus of this. It's got big, heavy fencing all the way around it, and the big, like anti-vehicle bollards
Mm-hmm.
all the way around that are designed to look like they're planters, but they've just got fake bushes in them.
Well, that's a really conical topiary you have there.
But yeah, so you get into the building, and you're able to get to the judge's office where Noah works. When you get there, there's actually several people that work in the office.
Sure.
But Noah is sitting at a desk that has the wall behind it. It's got like a wallpaper that looks like a legal bookcase. So it's just 2D, but it looks like
God.
it's got all these law books behind it. Excuse me. Noah is a fairly average-looking fella. He's not massively tall or short. He's got brown hair and brown eyes. A little kind of goatee sort of thing. Actually, it's more styled like a Van Dyke, beard-wise, so it's more angular. And he's wearing a pair of what look like reading glasses,
Okay.
and like working at a computer terminal when you get there. But when he looks up, the reading glasses don't appear to do anything. They're just an affectation.
I don't need you coming for high school me.
Oh no. I think, given Gavin's presence, Haru was like, "No, you go ahead. By all means, show that you're the one with personality."
Lovely. Excuse me, Noah?
Yes, yes. What can I do for you?
We are with the LAPD. We wanted to ask some questions regarding... is there somewhere we can talk privately?
And he kind of looks around the office and sees the 4 or 5 other people. Like, is there a problem?
Do you want to go for a walk?
Walk.
Yeah, all the beautiful fake greenery out there.
Well, I suppose if you'd like to.
Might be a good idea.
All right. And he goes over and like, there is actually like old. It's fake, but it looks like one of those old curly wooden coat racks.
Yeah.
And grabs an umbrella and a little like thigh-length trench coat. Puts it on and grabs a little hat, puts it on.
Oh my god, what year is it?
You get a little snarky text that's literally like, "Was this guy engineered to torture us?"
And he kind of leads the way out to the exit to the park. And it's not so much raining right now as it's like misty, right? It's that like everything's damp, and as you walk, it feels damp, but you're not pelted by rain.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't put up his umbrella, but he tucks it under his arm and kind of carries it. And so what can I do for you, officers?
Have you been contacted by anyone this morning? Your employer or the judge or anybody related?
Or just the UN?
No, not.
Okay.
I mean, I expect the judge should be here in the next hour or so.
Why don't we have a seat at this bench?
Oh, well, all right. And he kind of looks at the bench and then squeegees
Yeah.
a spot.
I think the longer we stand out in this mist too, like Haru's makeup is like actually starting to run.
Oh,
Why is he giving me like bearded Niles Crane and I'm here for it?
Yeah.
a little bit, a little bit.
Yeah. So we were called to your boss's residence earlier this morning, and I'm afraid she's not coming in.
Oh. Well, she's certainly entitled to take sick leave as needed.
She was unfortunately found dead this morning.
Oh. Heavens. Well, I suppose we'll need a new judge then.
Yeah, I would think that's probably going to be on the top list of things for you and your people to do. Did you receive any strange communications from the judge before in the last 24 hours?
Strange? No. I just have been working on her docket.
Speaking of her docket, does she have any active cases that has any, I don't know, red flags, threats of violence?
I mean, there's always some level of dissatisfaction with going up in front of a judge.
Yeah.
Somebody always loses in most cases.
That is how that works.
And even in arbitration, it usually means that both parties lose.
Is there anyone particularly unhappy with their arbitration?
Certainly not that would result in something drastic happening. I don't think.
Anything particularly high profile? Anything controversial? Anything that might evoke any kind of emotion?
The case that we're in the middle of, that we would have been beginning again this afternoon, resuming this afternoon, I should say, is a case about a scrapyard that it has been refusing to use human labor any longer.
Is this a biological scrapyard? Industry waste?
No, they recycle things from outside the city.
They recycle the kipple?
Yes, I believe that's the term.
Okay.
They go and harvest and try and reuse
They're more
metal,
likely-
and
They're more likely to get killed than the judge.
but that's the current case that we're working on. There's a number of upcoming cases, but nothing that stands out as certainly no violent crime or anything. Most of the judge's cases are financial in nature.
Has there been any blowback from, say, like an older case, like maybe about a nightclub or Tyrell?
Oh. Well, I wasn't working here back
No, of course not.
then. Interesting you point that out. There was a nightclub owner that was very upset. He didn't carry the proper insurance.
For what?
There was some kind of disagreement among patrons that resulted in some bodily injury. So they sued the club owner over it, expecting to get some kind of a payout from his insurance agency, but he apparently didn't have any. So
Yeah.
they closed down the club. And
Do you happen to know the name of that club?
I would have to look it up.
Okay, I would appreciate that information.
Certainly I can send it along.
And
to
also,
you.
any information you have on the scrapyard case, as far as names, plaintiffs, or
Certainly.
defendants.
They so the gist of the current case is they have replaced their human workforce with replicant labor, as you know, it can be a significant savings long term. And some of the old workers are displeased, and they are suing to get their positions back.
Based on my partner's reaction to what they were doing, I would imagine they'd be relieved that they're not doing such dangerous work anymore.
Well, even dangerous work means a paycheck versus not, I presume.
Yeah.
However, I'll be honest, I've never seen a case where people sue to get their job back that works out well.
And why is that, do you think?
Most of the time, even if they're given their job back, now that employer is a little upset with them to start with, so tends not to last too long, and it just motivates employers to figure out more legal methods to terminate their employment over time.
Any professional rivalries? Any people we should speak to regarding?
Well, I don't know if I'd call it a professional rivalry, but she never really got along with the chief judge. He would often look for reasons to reprimand her, but she's been here a long time, so they don't really go anywhere.
What do you know about her personal assistant, Miss Liams?
Olivia, she's a perfectly adequate personal assistant, I believe.
And how long have you been in service?
Oh, I've been here 8.5 months now.
Hmm. And before you?
I don't know who was the head law clerk before I arrived. I could look it up, but
It's fine.
If we can get access to anything like her daily schedules for the last couple months, weeks, anything to help get an idea of what she was doing, who she was speaking with day to day.
I'd be happy to give you her appointment book here for the office. I don't have her personal schedule.
Taking care of that.
Ah, okay. Is Olivia all right?
She's fine.
Okay.
Do you two have a good working relationship, you and Olivia?
Yes. Like I said, she seems perfectly adequate. She manages to keep the judge here on time and ready to work. So,
And her and the judge, they have a good relationship.
as far as I know, yes.
How good?
I've never seen the judge dissatisfied.
Do they argue?
Not that I'm aware of.
Are they lovers?
Oh, heavens.
Stranger things have happened.
I don't know. Certainly not here in the office that I'm aware of.
To each their own.
But I don't often interact with the judge outside of.
If you hear of anything or anyone sends you any peculiar messages, please just forward them to our
Oh,
investigation.
absolutely, absolutely. Have you already informed court security?
We should do that.
Yep, it's part of what we're doing here.
Ah, very good, very good. I will be happy to send along the professional schedule and her docket over the last month.
That'd be very helpful.
Be fine.
And until the news officially breaks, we would appreciate you keeping this.
Oh, certainly, certainly. I can understand the importance of being discreet. I can push the court hearing later today.
That would probably be best.
That's all I've got.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Again, if you think of anything comes up, please reach out to us right away.
And if we call, you should answer.
Certainly, yes. Happy to do so.
Okay, I think we're done here.
Go and
Talk to security.
yeah.
That seems just like paperwork. We can do that.
Ugh. We
The royal we.
we can do that.
Would you rather be diving through dumpsters?
Mm.
Wrong person to ask.
Horrible question.
All right. It's just a formality for you
Yeah.
to go inform court security. You easily could do that.
Okay.
They will put the courthouse on like a higher security level.
Yeah.
So immediately they call in more officers to patrol around, and they're wearing like tactical looking armor.
Yeah.
But they've got those dumb powder blue UN helmets.
Them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
they're
really
terrible.
do. I think Haru also asks them for any like detailed logs of death threats against the judge, any violent events that might have happened around her cases.
Sure. And Noah's happy to send along any correspondence that's come through the office about that. That's fine.
I suppose. Yeah, we can probably ask security for this too. Any threats against anyone on the defendant side of the case? Or not defendant, the plaintiff side?
Mm-hmm.
Because if someone's
Oh, the
dissatisfied,
current case?
Yeah.
You mean? Oh,
even if he's dissatisfied with where it's going, it might not just be the judge they'd be threatening.
Yeah, might be the workers that are trying to get their jobs back.
He probably says no. There's nothing that's come through the court. Like nothing's been brought to the court's attention.
Now, if they're gonna fight them, they're gonna
About
fight
that.
them out in the kipple.
All right, cool. That's all I got.
All right.
Let's
A
investigate
visit to Coco
something.
Oh, cool.
and questions.
Yeah. Mostly I just want to confer with Coco on the possibility, the options I've found for the murder weapon, and like to see if he can narrow it down any further based on having looked at the
Sure.
corpse now.
All right. Why don't you do an intelligence insight roll?
Okay. Alright.
Big brain.
Use the brain. That's not usually the muscle she uses.
It's a big muscle.
That's one success.
Okay. So you come in and you start talking with Coco a little bit about, what could have done this, and I have some ideas, and like as you chat a little bit, Coco gets a little excited
Ooh.
about this discussion, like, oh, that's fascinating. And like
Danger girl.
kind of gestures you to follow and
Secondary
walks
location. Run.
not out of the office, walks down a hallway and into a room that's got like a bunch of those like ballistic gel torsos,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's just a lineup of like 20 of them
Neat.
along a wall.
What a
And
nice
then
collection.
he goes over to a big double door cabinet and opens it up, and inside you see like a whole mess of different firearms and weapons and things. Like there's like a very specific stapler that's got some gel stuck to the end of it, and various things that like it's clear that he's come in here and done testing to see like
Yeah.
how these would affect a body.
Testing.
How
And we
else
thought
are
the
you gonna
Vesper
figure
Wall
it
guy
out?
was bad.
Coco has rancid vibes of the movie, okay?
And he pulls out like excuse me, like what's the heck is the term I'm looking for? Like an angle grinder, and then he pulls out like what's the term for that? It's like a electric tool. Usually has a sort of flat blade on the end that vibrates very quickly, and you can cut off like heads of
Oh, yeah.
screws or.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I have no
Yeah.
idea what it's called.
Now my brain has just failed me.
I have no idea.
Anyway, he pulls out one of those, like things that would move quickly and maybe cause friction.
Mm-hmm.
Then he kind of looks down at the bottom of the cabinet and he goes, I don't have like a plasma cutter, but I have a welding torch. Is that good enough?
Let's take a look.
So he pulls out, and it's like a full like acetylene welding torch, so it's got a big gas tank that he kind of pulls out of the bottom of this cabinet, and he goes over and he pulls out one of those sparkers and turns on the gas and sparks the thing up and kind of dials in the flame, and he goes up to this first gel torso and just goes, and it boils away the gel, and you end up with two halves that it worked.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it took a while.
Yeah.
But then he goes at it with kind Yeah, like an oscillating tool thing. Yeah, that's kind of the term. I thought there was another name. Something. It'll be 3 o'clock in the morning today, and I'll leap out of bed going,
That's
that.
actual jigsaw.
No. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You get the gist. So he uses that on the thing, and it doesn't seem like it would cut. Like the gel that's contained inside kind of oozes out. Then he goes and gets like a skill saw and goes at it, and that doesn't seem to do it either. So probably the closest thing has been that welding torch.
Okay,
Mm.
got it.
But he's like, if you want to bring anything else by, I'm happy to test.
Oh, great. Have you gotten anything on the toxicology report yet?
It seems like the judge had alcohol.
How much?
I mean, without knowing her tolerance level, I couldn't tell you how intoxicated she was, but
Sure.
enough that she should not have been driving a vehicle.
Enough that she would be unconscious?
No.
Okay. Any other drugs in her system, sedatives?
It seems like she took medication for allergies.
What's the name of the medication?
Essentially like Claritin.
Okay.
She's on Claritin, like the rest of the Los Angeles basin.
Right.
What's the dosage? Was it like a normal dose or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems completely within parameters of use.
Combined with the alcohol in her system, would that have any effect?
Possibly, but again, not to the point of unconsciousness.
Okay.
She didn't have that much alcohol.
Right. Was there any head trauma? Did she appear to be knocked out?
There wasn't any kind of blunt force cracking or anything on the rest of the skull. Just
Okay. Any evidence to suggest that she may have been smothered before the bisection?
it's a little difficult to tell. There was a lot of internal cranial trauma as this
Naturally.
happened. So the usual, what do they call petechial hemorrhaging in the eyes
Mhm.
wasn't present.
Okay.
So it didn't look like she'd been strangled. It's possible that someone might have just brought her to unconsciousness via smothering or asphyxiation before beginning this process. It's also possible that she was fully alive and awake when this began.
That's
It would not have
unpleasant.
taken very long to get her to a point where she was not able to do anything about it.
Fair enough. Okay. No other signs of trauma to the body.
There may be, it's hard to tell if it was present before, but there was a few spots of light bruises.
Ooh.
Could have happened if she had been restrained by someone. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
Not like she had been tied or severely grabbed, but
Right.
bruising can happen just, as those of us in the real world know, you can just wake up in the morning and be like, what the hell did I do to my arm? Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all my questions for him. Yeah.
Okay.
Computer stuff.
All right. What's your first computer question?
Let's see. Now that we have the access log, so the access logs were those specifically, I forget. We asked for the parking area and the elevator? Because the
Yes.
okay. So I'd like to see who went up in the elevator.
There's again a fairly decent list of people, both residents and non-residents. The it doesn't appear that anyone else's names that you've encountered in this
Okay.
investigation appear on the list.
Okay. Great. None of the names associated with the similar crimes that I looked at before either.
No.
Okay. And then I think for just to be thorough, I'm gonna run just to see if either of the assistants have priors. The security guy said the cleaning staff was all vetted, but might as well run them as well.
Sure.
Is there something else?
You run the security guard themselves.
Yeah, run the security guard too. Might as well.
All right. So the cleaning staff comes back clean as a whistle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing there. Even the cleaning staff's immediate family are all clean, because the UN checks and records that as well. If anybody out there's ever had a friend getting security clearances, sometimes the FBI shows up at your friends' places of employment and starts asking a lot of questions, which can be awkward. So they are thoroughly investigated. The security guard, head of security that you spoke with,
Yeah.
Aaron also comes back, doesn't have a record of any kind. And also is security cleared even higher than the cleaning staff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what are the names for you?
The two assistants, the law
Oh,
clerk
right,
and
right,
her
right.
personal assistant.
Noah, the law clerk, has failed a test.
Oh, okay. Failed baseline.
Yes, but only one, and has been fine since.
Okay. How long ago was that?
6 months or so.
So while he was in the employ.
Guarding service.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Olivia has a very long list of parking and traffic violations.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Olivia.
she's a real personal assistant. Oh no.
But aside from that, nothing.
Okay. Interesting. Definitely gonna upload that failed baseline to our
Sure.
case file. And then I think the last thing I wanted to do was look at her KIA to see if there's anything, like if she keeps any work information about the cases she's working on there, or
Not really.
messages. Because I know that Fjor looked through her
Sure.
phone records, but
I mean, yeah, there is a record of messages also. All the stuff. Excuse me. All the stuff from the assistants, both of them lines up with kind of the story you've been told. So. There is like an automatic spam trash folder that has some random communications from what you assume is that club owner
okay.
that follow the threat kind of through line that you've been told about.
Yeah.
There's a few messages from what appear to be friends and other people. There is a back and forth conversation with niece
Okay.
That talks about, oh, we have to get together and have lunch sometime. Oh, I've been so busy. That kind of
It
stuff.
sounds like the niece is local.
Yes.
Okay. Any messages from like a partner or anybody that's
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Also, just to clear up, no messages to Olivia seem inappropriate.
okay?
Listen, Hunter's just fishing for dirt.
I mean, it's fine,
Sure.
but it's not like you open that and go, oh, and close that file back up.
And would the KI have any sort of like search history, like because we can look things up on it?
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, they basically work like a modern cell phone, so.
Have somebody clear your search history when you die, people. Does her search history have anything weird in it?
Hmm. I think the most recent set of searches are about the music that's supposed to be performed.
Okay.
Like she was like, I should probably know a little about this if I'm gonna go meet people that are playing it. That kind of thing. So it links to a couple of discussions about the history of this kind of theme music throughout the ages and that kind of stuff.
Got it.
Before that, it seems fairly normal. She has a list of places that she orders food from regularly. But yeah, occasionally, like going back a little farther, there's like looking up places that might line up with a discussion you saw with random folks in the messages, like,
Okay.
oh, we should go have dinner, blah, blah, blah. Here's the name of a restaurant. And then you see that restaurant show up
Mhm.
there, that kind of stuff. The judge seems fairly normal.
Fairly normal. Okay. Great. Yeah. I think those were all my questions.
Okay.
Oh, that was the other thing. I wanted to run the dancer's name.
Oh, Amelia?
Lucas.
Oh, Lucas. What about Lucas?
Does he have like a rap sheet?
There's probably a couple of minor vice crimes, public intoxication, that kind of thing. Nothing major.
Okay.
Whatever they call drunk and disorderly.
Yeah, he's not associated with any particularly dangerous people.
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. You don't see the known, gang member, known,
Yeah.
enforcer for organized crime. No.
Never know.
It's true.
They say that organized crime has fallen on some harder times than it used to, so now he has to work as a dancer on the side.
Maybe dancing doesn't pay enough.
Right?
Kathy certainly doesn't.
I'm sure he doesn't. Okay, great. That was it.
Okay. All right. I think before we move on to a whole nother shift, it's probably a good place to call it for tonight.
Sure.
We get into a whole nother shift, it's going to go a lot longer than the remaining couple of minutes we have.
Yeah.
So, thank you for joining us out there in internet land. I hope you're enjoying the show. We will be back next week. Nothing weird about that. I do believe we haven't had a discussion yet, but I think that we'll also probably play Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
anybody's
so.
traveling out of
Not
town
going
or
anywhere.
anything. Okay.
Nope.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Well,
It'll be a
if
mystery.
something comes up, we'll let the internet know and we'll keep it there. But we'll be back next week for sure. And yeah, thank you, James, for keeping our chat room safe.
Thank you, James.
It is a lion's amount of work, and we appreciate. Ta-da! Look at
Hey.
that. We appreciate all the hard work to try and keep it a regulated place where everybody can come and have fun. A huge thank you also to all the members on Patreon that contribute what they can to help us have a place to do this and something to drink in the fridge. And internet access to upload all this stuff, especially because it makes my job as a GM 1,000 times easier to have the game recorded. And the number of times that I go back and rewatch an episode and I catch something that I didn't see on someone's face or something else because I'm busy engaging over on one side, I didn't see something over here kind of happen, and then I'm like, ooh, I should take a note of that. It is delightful to have surveillance of the player.
It's all you
No
do.
Vesper wall.
We're very normal about that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to worry about.
So thank you, Patreon members, for providing me with the ability to surveil my players.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
that's great. Thanks, I hate it.
Let's go around one more time, hear what everybody's up to.
Hey everybody, I'm Joey. I have been Gavin Huxley, totally normal human fixer. And not doing Drink Spear for the rest of the season because I've started caroling season. Yay! With a gig possibly as early as next Monday.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
That's too early.
Uh-huh. But yeah, you can find me on all the socials at Feywild, Feywilde, or Feywild85. Keep an eye out for my opinions on whichever season of Drag Race I'm currently watching and nonsense like that.
Wonderful. Hi, my name's Cousteau. I played Fjor. I'm the Cityspeaker, LAPD, and you can find me on the socials, Twitter, at Cousteau Magee, and Instagram as well, and Facebook, if you want to join me there. But yeah, come and check out what I have to say about game design and advocating for representation, for people of color, disability access, and Pathfinder things, because I am helping a writing team on a big project that I'm not really supposed to even mention. So
Oh,
rewind,
nothing
delete.
happened, nothing
Anyway.
happened.
But yeah, I like all role-playing games, so check me out. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Kai. You can find me on, I think, all of the social media platforms except for Threads. As Estelle of Imladris, where you can find me talking about doing a lot of this. You can find me obviously here next week, being very normal and fine.
You can't say that.
And then you can find me not this Saturday, but the following Saturday and Monday, because we had a thing with the second half of the penultimate episode in the finale of Arc 1 of Transplanter RPGs, The Chaos Protocol, where we are maybe fighting a god. Don't worry about it. It's fine and normal. Everything's going great. And it is all transgender people of color led. I'm going to get it right one day, but it's not today. It is a very fun time. We are ending our first arc. It has been 30 podcast episodes, something like that, and many streams of us in the Wild Sea. So we're about to leave the Wild Sea. The conceit of the Chaos Protocol is that we are playing in a new multiversal plane every arc. And we are about to end Arc 1 in the Wild Sea and move on to our next arc starting very soon in a new system, which is terrifying because it means I have to learn a new system. It's going to be fine. But we're playing the same characters every arc, so it's going to be a new adventure seeing us leave one story behind and continue on into our next adventure. And then you can also find me, because we just dropped our Halloween episode for the podcast that I produce called The Lore Brewery, where I was the game master, one of the very rare occasions that I am actually a GM where people can hear it, for a 10 Candles game called Hopper's Fall, where you get to hear all about my feelings about the things that come for you in the dark and theme parks, which I have a lot of feelings about. So yeah, you can check out Hopper's Fall anywhere you get your podcasts at Lore Brewery. And go ahead, Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam. I've been Kestrel, your friendly neighborhood violence consultant.
How was this erotic, though?
You can find me on the internets at Red Bandroid, and here mostly every Tuesday, doing the weird stuff. Yeah, if you follow me on the socials, and you can see pictures of me as a Cenobite or a skeleton for a while, because I took a lot of photos this Halloween. Spooky season doesn't have to end if you don't want it to.
That's fair.
It's true.
I appreciate a good, like, sunny springtime or summer spookiness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing spookier than a goth in a field of flowers.
That's what Valentine's Day is. It's spring Halloween. You get candy.
It's literally a
And
classic horror
hearts.
movie.
And hearts.
It's literally a classic horror movie. My
Okay,
Bloody
Joey.
Valentine.
That's
Got
well
you. Got you.
That's fair.
Bloody Valentine. Yes.
That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. That's a good point. I get it. I have historic problems with Valentine's Day through no fault of mine or my wife. It's just when we first started dating, our first 4 Valentine's Days were complete disasters.
Oh no.
Including one time she was patient 0 in a weird bacterial outbreak at our college.
Oh.
Got her name and picture on the CDC website
Oh,
and everything.
no.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So
Your love is infectious.
we just
Oh.
Love
we
is a
just
bug.
made a pact with each other that Valentine's Day is not really something we celebrate. We just pick a different
Oh,
day
yeah. Okay.
and don't tell anybody that it's happening because then something's gonna go wrong.
There you go.
But yeah, I do see the connection. I mean, we had our own horror stories from Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us. If you're interested, I will be back streaming Dave the Diver next Monday evening in the post-dinner hours of the Pacific time zone. And then I'm actually going to start working on piecing together some YouTube videos out of the streams to make it into a actual archive of the game so people can see how much fun it is. I've also been toying around with doing some streams about Power Wash Simulator, my game of the year.
I love Power Wash Simulator.
People are coming at me saying that, Baldur's Gate 3 is the best game of the year, and Alan Wake 2 is the best game of the year, and the Starfield players are all about Starfield is the best game of the year, and you're completely wrong. There is hardly anything more satisfying than spraying dirt off of shit.
You're not wrong. It's a very satisfying
Yes.
game.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't spent the last week and a half only playing Power Wash Simulator.
Yeah.
I have been playing Baldur's Gate.
Right.
Okay, there we go.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right.
I think, to me, Power Wash Simulator has filled that gap of I don't actually want to engage with a game.
Yeah.
I want to do something to keep my brain active while I'm observing a video or
It's so
something.
satisfying. And then it's shiny when it's done.
Mhm.
It's so good.
And it makes the perfect little ding noise every little bit you clean thoroughly. Yeah.
It's like using a real power washer, which is also extremely powerful. Should not be allowed.
And I just saw that they just released Power Wash Simulator VR. So I
Oh,
might have to get it and play it all over again. Running around my house and scaring my children.
come here, I'm gonna power wash you. Wait a minute.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.